Hi everyone. I'm recording this video as a lot of people are requesting that they need guidance like what and how to study for AIEEE. Whatever I'm going to say, I'll say that you know most of the stuff. There's nothing new I'm going to say because I keep saying about this thing every now and then. But still, as the situation is very critical and very important, so if I say everything again, it's not going to hurt. It's not doesn't matter. If you want me to say again, so I would like to do that. So JEE exam is over, and you have seen the kind of exams this time came, and physics was difficult than the last time. Mathematics, I would say, was a tricky paper, especially the it was difficult to score. Um, Whatever, like it's over now. Mathematics, like JEE exams are over now. So irrespective of how you have performed in exam, whether you have performed good or you have performed bad, in both of these scenarios you have to focus on IITJEE. So if you have performed bad, then obviously you have to try your best. You have to whatever time is there for IITJEE, you have to spend every moment in for IITJEE. You have been working hard since last 2 years. So if you have could not perform good in AIEEE, then it's like it's a more of a you can say for AIEEE you can try best, and there is no such formula that if you could not perform good for JEE you could not perform for AIEEE. It's like totally it's a different exam, it's like a different environment, it's a different kind of question, different level of question that's going to come in AIEEE. So even if you could not perform in IITJEE, you can perform good in AIEEE. And let me tell you, like AIEEE is a kind of exam where it's relatively easier than JEE exam. Easier in the sense that in JEE the questions are fresh, or more number of questions are fresh, where you have to think and then solve it. Whereas in AIEEE it's like more of what you have been doing in last 2 years, what practice you have done. If you have done a preparation, if you have spent time in preparing for these entrance exam, you're going to do well. So the element of surprise is less in AIEEE as compared to JEE. JEE, like if you're not thinking, if you're not sitting in the exam, if your brain is not working, if the ideas are not flowing out, then there's a chances that you might not perform good in the exam. But in AIEEE it's not like that. Most of the questions you would know sitting there. So so in such exam, so last moment preparation matters a lot. Like for example, in CBSE, if you perform if you study in the last few days, if you like for your school exam or for your CBSE exam or 12th class CBSE exam, if you spend time in the last few days, then everything remains fresh in your mind and you end up performing good in the exam. So the last moment slogging or fighting or doing things definitely impact your exam, right? So it's very important that whatever time has left, you have to maximum, you whatever you can do, you have to do maximum. So I was telling you that if you have performed bad in JEE, there is a reason to gear up for AIEEE and give your every moment for AIEEE. And those who have performed good, they are expecting good rank. And let me tell you that whatever you give the IT exam, you have answers with you, you speculate your rank, but never go on these speculations. The data can change a lot, because like especially when you come down to like below 250 marks, on every mark there are a lot of number of students. There are a lot number of students on every mark. If you go like around 210 or 215, वहाँ पे देखेंगे हर marks पे you will find like hundreds of students. So 5 marks here and there can change situation a lot, right? So don't just even if you like if you have seen all these predictions and you're expecting that you'll get this rank, don't believe on that. So that's why and even those who are performing very good, who are expecting wrong rank in say 2-digit or 3-digit rank, for them also there is a reason for preparing for AIEEE. You have worked so hard, and when it comes to ranks, It is always good. You always remember your ranks, even say 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, you will remember all your ranks, and it feels good when it feels good when you say that I got this rank in IIEE. And suppose you got like 500 rank in IITJEE, and when somebody will ask you, or you yourself will recall that what rank you got in IIEE, and you say I got like 10,000, you're going to feel bad. So why not you score rank, and because it's going to be with you forever, so give your best and do it, like it's right. So that way, so this, like I was telling you, that there is a reason that you have to work hard, and you have to spend whatever you can do for IIEE. If you have the capacity to show, to study 15 hours, to slog whatever you can show, you have to do it now. It's a movement, and once it is done, see, just like for 15, for those who are giving the offline exam, it's like how many days? It's not less than 15-16 days, not too much time. So studying 14-15 hours a day is not a big deal. For 15 hours, 15 days, you can do that. So, and now so like everyone has to do it. Everyone has to study 15 hours, 14-15 hours for next 15 days continuously. Now what you will be studying on, what you have to focus on in these 15 days, and there's so much to do in just 15 days. So let me tell you that it's a practice which is going to affect a lot your performance in the exam. So test practice. That's like, it's not like JEE exam where there are two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. It's just one paper, 3 hours paper, right? And there more lot number of questions, though they have decreased the number of questions. They started with 120 questions, and a few years back they reduced to 90 questions, and then 75 questions. They're increasing the level of the questions, but at the same time they're decreasing the number of the questions. But still, it's a kind of exam which I call as a race against time. Just speed matters a lot. You have to just keep on solving the question. So when it's that kind of exam where speed matters a lot, and you have to just solve karte raho, आगे अगला question, next question, घिसना exam में, then you have to have been practice of such like in such pattern, such doing. You need to be into practice of that kind of gameplay. So for that, like, it's necessary that minimum you have to take a test every day. That's a minimum. If you taking 2 tests, there's no harm. Test means what you can do in the form of test, like a 3-hour test. You can use the IIEE papers, last like 10 years 15 years IIEE papers. You can use like IITJEE objective papers too. That doesn't matter. And it's important to do IITJEE papers you have not done for IITJEE, but sometimes they give a similar question in IIEE that has been in IT exams in past years. Even the question is not same, they take the idea from there. So there's no harm in solving IITJEE papers from like last 5-year papers. So IIEE papers you have to solve, IITJEE papers you have to solve, and then you can buy a IIEE guide from the market where you have the papers, and you can do the papers. Even if you don't have papers to do, you can just from the IIEE guide you can start solving the objective questions from the chapters which you are weak, but do it in the test form. Practice in the test form. No need to practice difficult questions. The regular routine questions you have to practice, right? So every day one paper is minimum, and on weekend, if you're taking any 2 or 3 days a week, you can take 2 papers a day. That's for the practice sake. Next thing you have to do is the chapters which were not the part of the JEE syllabus. You have to do them very thoroughly. And this, अगर पूरा डिटेल में करने का टाइम नहीं है, तो एटलीस्ट बेसिक लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस करना ही है इसमें. स्पेशली केमिस्ट्री, यू हैव टू रीड दोस चैप्टर्स. फिजिक्स अपने पढ़ना ही है चैप्टर्स में. मैथमेटिक्स में भी एक बार करके देख लेना. इफ यू लेस टाइम, देन प्रेफरेंस शुड बी केमिस्ट्री एंड देन फिजिक्स एंड देन मैथमेटिक्स. फॉर द लेफ्ट ओवर सिलेबस, केमिस्ट्री में तो पढ़ने वाली चीज़ें याद करना है. यू लर्न इट एंड यू विल बी एबल टू परफॉर्म इन द एग्जाम. फिजिक्स ऑल्सो, वट एवर इज नॉट covered in JEE syllabus, you have to do it. Mathematics, you can keep it a third priority, right? And other thing is those chapters which you could not do, or you could not focus on for JEE, like you found them difficult, or you could not have time to spend on those chapters. Maybe there's no harm in doing that, because the level is the fundamental level, basic level. So kuch maybe like 5 hours, 6 hours. For example, some people say they were not thorough on conics. So no harm in spending at least you can learn the formulas and practice those things in those chapters. So those chapters which you left for JEE, you can spend time on those chapters too. Another thing is the class copy thing, which I think all the lectures you should have revised, but most of you would have done for JEE, so I don't think you need to do that. But if not, then you have to do it. And before exams, all the formulas, because you know you have given JEE, you know that the importance of the formulas. Questions आए हैं formulas use करने थे, तो formulas तो आपको आने ही चाहिए. But apart from that, you have to keep focus on solving papers is the first priority. Second priority is the leftover chapters जो रह गए हैं, जो were not in the JEE syllabus, and there the priority should be first of all the chemistry, and then physics, and then mathematics, and then those chapters which were even the part of the JEE syllabus but you could not do them, you have to focus on that. And as a fourth thing, or maybe it should be the first, but you already done it, so I'm keeping at fourth level. वो leftover time बचता है, तो उसमें आप you just have to revise all the class copies. And test series के papers, you can revise the test series papers, though they were difficult papers, but नहीं, you can say at a priority 5 you can revise the test series papers which you could not do earlier. And you don't have much time, so but at least half of the time, or 60-70% of time, should go on doing the papers, doing the questions in written. Question solve करने, time और question, हाफ ऑफ द टाइम इसमें जाना चाहिए. और कुछ दूसरा जो पढ़ने का, केमिस्ट्री वाली चीज़ें आपने पढ़नी है जो अपने एक्स्ट्रा चैप्टर्स थे या छोड़ दी थी आपने. और AIEEE की पेपर करेंगे तो विल गेट एन आइडिया हाउ व्हाट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दे आस्क. अदर थिंग इज इन AIEEE they are still asking the AR kind of question, assertion reasoning kind of questions, so make sure you do those kind of questions, right? Yeah, I have a video recorded on solving those AR kind of questions, so if those who have not gone through that video, make sure you should go through that video, you should see that video. And finally, before I shut down and stop speaking, I again say that this is very crucial exam, very crucial stage of your life, where you have to give your best. So don't just I know the hangover of the JEE exam, it would be killing you, especially those who could not perform bad, जिनको है कि मैं इतना ज़्यादा कर सकता था, मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, क्वेश्चन बाहर तो सॉल्व मेरे से हो ही नहीं सारे. You have to just come out of it, right? And parents, for them it's very important that they should not talk about the JEE paper, and they should not keep on commenting or keep on I know you have worked hard with your kid, but don't just let him think about that. Just give him a chance to forget about everything. And for you, even if you decide to forget about that, the idea and thoughts will keep coming, so and that will not let you study for AIEEE. So you have to be very strong कि बस shut down कर दिया तो कर दिया, I'm not going to think about that, right? कि एक बार तभी थॉट आता है, कहीं लिख दो, मैंने कई बार बताया, you just write a message that JEE is over and hell to JEE or whatever, and I would be an idiot if I think about JEE, right? And you can see I have a board on my background, so whenever I have to get something out of my mind, I just write there and say I'm an idiot, I'm a stupid, or dash dash, if I keep thinking about that, right? And 15 घंटे करना ही है, why not? You can do it, and further, if anybody in the world can do it, you can also do it. And thank you, and if you need any help from me, I would be available. Just let me know. Okay, thank you, bye bye.